our project, it's about 60% of area is covered by national park. So yeah, the national park is a reserve forest. So we didn't take like the 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 production, not like the production forest. So we must calculate more on the environmental service value. Thank you.
And you have difficulties in determining the environmental values of the environmental service. Is that the
Yes.
problem?
Yes.
Thomas, do you want to respond to that?
Yes, with the mic, it's better. So let me go back to, yeah, this one. So if we go to one forest, we have here a national park, and the detailed data for the forest is here. So let me translate to English. So this is more difficult than with crops, I agree, because when you ask people about how much they produce for their maize or their rice, people know. When you ask people that use the forest, you know, how much non-timber forest products do you get from the forest, and how much animals do you hunt from the forest, and how much wood. This is a bit more complicated, I agree. But in general, I'm sure that in Vietnam and in Indonesia, there are plenty of studies from NGOs, from the Ministry of Environment, the Ministry of Forestry, that provide already some information about that. So there are, you know, in the forest here, you have the products and the services. The products, I think to some extent, you can ask the stakeholders, you know, how much wood do you use per household? And you can understand more or less, you know, the value that people get from the surrounding forest. The services, it's probably more from studies. So I've seen myself studies in Vietnam about the valuation of forest for watershed. For instance, I know we're in Indonesia here, but I'm thinking about Vietnam, because in Vietnam they have a national system of payment for ecosystem services, right? Especially for watershed protection. And I remember when we were in Vietnam using the land use planner, we said, okay, for the watershed services which are here, we will use the value that people get from the payment for ecosystem services scheme. For tourism, this is a national park in Indonesia. So for tourism, you can put the value that tourists pay for this forest. How many tourists? Do they have to pay an entrance fee? These kind of things. So for each of those, we provide some limited guidance. We also provide some benchmark. If you go to the import data, there is some data from other forests around the world. Where are they? Forests here, including from Vietnam, look, not from Indonesia. But I agree, this is a bit more difficult. So this is where, if you have somebody who knows a bit about the studies from NGOs or from the Ministry of Environment, that will help.